Teaching healthy cooking classes to build your business or be your business. Hi, I'm Sherry Mraz, the Cooking Yogi. I'm a health coach, author, speaker, and winner of Best Plate Flavors of Wellington. Tonight's signature class is Eating Super Healthy on a Budget, where you'll be teaching your guests delicious recipes to get the most nutritional bang for their buck. People love cooking classes. The problem is most TV shows actually reinforce gluttonous eating habits. I've been on a mission to teach people how to improve their health through using better ingredients, how to enjoy food, and how to use plant-based ingredients by creating amazing dishes that improve their health and in turn the health of their families. So what we'll be covering is your why, marketing and promoting, the key elements of a successful class, meal planning on a budget, getting people to come back, how to actually enroll them, and how to make money doing what you love. Let's talk about your why. Do you want to add more clients, do what you love, turn your passion into your career, make more money, and help people? Use your special talents and gifts. Maybe you have great education, but you also want to enjoy your work. You have great ideas, but you need tools to actually turn all of this into one package that actually makes you money. This is my why. You see me there. This is a few years back with my family. That's me in the middle, and my kids on the right and my big kid on the left. And you can see this is at my middle daughter's graduation, and my oldest daughter is on the right, and she has a master's even already. And the other one is just 4 years away from college. And I don't have to tell you, this costs a lot of money. So that's a huge part of my why. But at the same time, it's really become a mission for me. I taught yoga for years and then went to become a health coach. And so the cooking and the coaching, putting it all together in a mindful eating package, created the Cooking Yogi. That's me on the right after I had won the Flavors of Wellington award. This is a magazine article. You can see the title at the top and you can see some tips, but you really don't see who wrote the article. So one of the best pieces of advice I think I can give you is make sure anything that you do submit to a magazine or a newspaper, that you always have a picture of yourself linking back to your website. So you can pay for ads. You can do regular advertising in a newspaper or in a magazine. You can even do Google ads. My advice is anything that you do that's online, make sure you put in your local area, whether it's your county or your town, so that the search engines drive back to you. If someone types in cooking class and it comes up in another state, it's not going to help you, because if you're doing them in person, you need them to find the local cooking classes. If you're doing things online, you don't need to put that. So the best way to really promote and get free advertising is by writing articles. If you write an article and put in some tips, or it can be anything. It can be food-based, health-related, as long as you're tagging it back to yourself, as I said, with the picture and your website, and you donate these to magazines, again, and newspapers, and they can be online or hard copy. Writing press releases. A press release is news, considered news. So it has to be something that's newsworthy. And things that are newsworthy are grand opening, so-and-so's business is expanding, anything where there's a change. If there's a change, you write up your article saying what you're doing, put your information on it, and send it in to the editor for your local newspaper. I suggest you keep a file that has a list. I have one master list with every editor in my local area with their email and a fax number if they use that. And then you send it in to them, directly to them with their name on it, and ask them if they can please run this for you. They usually run about 3 weeks out. So don't be discouraged if it doesn't happen the first time. You just send it every week, and hopefully it will get you in there. And make sure you have enough time for it to hit in time for your event. If you're doing an event, if it's just for a broad-based expanding to include, let's say, cooking classes, then just keep sending it. So social media, clearly you can fill classes by putting a picture like I had on the beginning of this presentation, just saying, healthy cooking, and maybe and definitely put the date on there. But you don't want to ever put your own address or the address. If it's in a public place, you could put the address of where the cooking class is being held. But don't put your email and don't put your phone number. So email, you can clearly email out the event. If you have flyers, you can email the flyer. And flyers, you can just ask around town, put them up. You want to have a really clean, concise flyer. You want to have a beautiful color flyer with graphics on it, but you don't want to have too much information. Keep it short and simple. Just where the event is, who's running it, and the date and time, and maybe a benefit of what they'll get out of it. Video, clearly, video is very popular right now. Word of mouth. Don't forget word of mouth. Sometimes people, they'll get an email from you and it gets buried. Think of people who've expressed an interest. Everyone you meet, if they say, oh yeah, I would love to come to one of those, let me know. So if you think of them, even if you've emailed them, they might have missed it. If you call them up and just say, hey, I know that you wanted, to know when I was doing my next one, and they are so grateful. People, we've lost touch with just communicating in person with people because we live in a world of technology. So don't underestimate the power that comes from reaching out live to a person. They really, really appreciate it. This is another way that you can get in front of people. Doing corporate lunch and learns. This was me. I was at a large developer construction company, and you can see to my right there's my assistant. She was one of the employees and she volunteered to assist. She was over there massaging the kale salad. That was from our last class when we did the signature getting greens in your diet class. And they have fun. If you get the volunteers, they're enjoying themselves. And in this particular class where it was held, there was a lot of men, and they maybe wouldn't have just sought out going to a cooking class. So here they were exposed to it, and now they've had all these tips and health benefits that they're really grateful to get, but you wouldn't have gotten in front of those people if maybe you didn't do it in corporate. The other great thing about corporate is you can ask for a higher fee than what you normally do to the general public with a cooking class. Key elements of a successful class. You want to engage your audience. You want to fill a need. Engaging your audience, maybe you're asking them questions. What do you normally do? What works for you? What doesn't work for you? What's your biggest struggle? And everybody will start talking. And by answering a need, that means if you are at a corporate lunch and learn, clearly those people are going to be more stressed out. They have less time. So those are the tips that you're bringing into your class. If you're doing a mom's class, then you're giving more tips on eating food that improves the health of their family. You want to keep it as simple and practical as possible. You don't want people leaving the class and saying, wow, she's a great cook, but I could never do that. You want them to know that by eating healthy ingredients and creating a plan, they can do it themselves on their own. You're slipping in the education by, as you're cooking, you're talking benefits, and it's all an experience. It's not just a class where someone's sitting and taking notes. So this way they're learning. People learn when they're having fun. To make it profitable, you're talking about your work. If you save it up, you do the whole class, and then at the end you say, well, I work with people. They're going to miss it because they're already eating. They're not as engaged. Throughout your class, you want to be saying, this is the work I do, and my clients see improved overall health. My clients lose weight. My clients sleep better. Whatever it is that you want to say, as you're going along, you're dropping in those breadcrumbs, and you want to make it fun. This is a flyer you see on the right, and on it, this says Health and Wellness Workshop. So I use that flyer myself when I'm doing more corporate things, or if I'm going to do a series, like every month I'm going to do a different class. So they get used to it being a workshop. It's just a different format than the other flyer that says Healthy Cooking Class. And on the bottom, you see there's a blank field. That's where I put in the information of where the class is and date and time. And that's where you would put it in and put in your own information. Everybody feels like they're short of time. So meal planning on a budget is really about planning. Failing to plan is planning to fail, right? We've all heard that. So you want to teach your guests how to create a meal calendar. One little simple tip that you can give them is take little 3x5 cards. And on those index cards, maybe they write down their favorite healthy recipes. Maybe they get them, luckily, from your class. Well, if they have all their healthy recipes on the back of the card, they can create a shopping list. If they look at the store flyers, they can take those cards out and say, okay, this is what I'm going to make this week. And then they plug it into their meal calendar. You teach them the importance of rolling ingredients, which means if you're making like beans and rice one night because you made a big pot of beans, maybe the next night a recipe is to have tacos with beans in it, or you're making a soup with it, or you're putting it in the black bean brownies. Whatever it is, they don't want, you teach them to not waste food. If you're living on a budget, and we all should be on a budget, then you're saving money by not wasting. Shopping lists. When they get to the store, teach them to shop the perimeter of the store. The perimeter is where all the healthy, fresh food is. If they need to get something from their list on the inner aisles, they should get in and get out. Because if you start walking up and down the aisles, that's where danger lurks, because there's a lot of processed food in there, and sometimes you'll start impulse buying. So just get the things you need and don't hover through the aisles. Shopping bulk or not. If you shop bulk, you can tend to waste sometimes. So you have to be really careful. You might be able to buy bulk if it fits with your meal plan, and then you'll save money. But if there's going to be waste involved, you don't save. And if you're shopping flyers, and you may have to go to more than one store, because if you're shopping the flyer and one store has a great special on a can of beans or dried beans, that wouldn't be in a special, but you get my point. Then you go there for that. And maybe you have to make more than one trip. I always recommend to my clients, they make a couple trips to the store a week anyway, so that they're getting more fresh produce rather than eating old produce at the end of the week. Prepping your food is another great way to save money and save time. When you get home from the store, I wash all my produce other than berries or things that you just don't wash when you get home. And This way you cut everything up. If you have everything in little bags or storage containers, when people get home from work, they're going to create a meal in 10 or 15 minutes. It's so much easier when they've done the prep. Kitchen sink soup. Well, that's what my son calls garbage soup. Not a very pleasant name, but really and truly, you can make the most phenomenal soups by just taking the leftovers from the week and any of your produce. You don't want to throw out food, so you don't want it to go bad. This is how, again, if you're living on a budget. This is old school. I'm pretty sure all of our grandmothers did this. They didn't throw food out. No, that would never happen. So everything went into a soup or a casserole or something. So getting people to join your next class or program. Well, clearly you want to have them have a good time. You want to have them sharing. If they're all involved, then it's an experience and they're going to want to come back and stay with you, have more of you. I always give away gift bags at the end of my class. And some of the giveaways I use are, I have pens. My pens have my website on it and phone number. And I always give a recipe. Everybody gets 3 recipes. They get their recipes and then they get a healthy handout. So there's a benefits sheet, which just keeps them thinking of you. They're taking it home with them. And the people are going to want to take notes while they're in your class. So this is a great way to give them that tool. But then to build up referral partners in town and also to have more giveaways, think about some of the places you go. If you go to the hairdresser, the chiropractor, nail salon, wherever you frequent, and you ask them, say, hey, I do a lot of cooking classes and I give away gift bags. Do you have anything that you would like to give me to promote your business? Maybe they'll give you pens, they'll give you little notepads, whatever it is they do when they go to health fairs or trade shows. And so if they give them to you and you're promoting them, you leave your cards at their office, and maybe that's where you put your flyers for your cooking class, and then you're referring back and forth to each other. It will build up a referral partnership. Now, clearly you can get clients from referral partners. And if you really target, doctor's offices, chiropractors, it will build this relationship that will build your business better than pretty much anything else. How to actually enroll people in your programs. Well, clearly I've mentioned benefits a bunch of times because that is so important. You want to be known as an expert. So as you're talking benefits, I bring with me an outline when I do my classes, and on it, it has a list of benefits. My recipes even will tag some of the benefits on it. So as you're going through, you're remembering those talking points. I write my talking points out because you're going to maybe get distracted. You're trying to get everything done at once. If you have those talking points and the benefits listed, you at least know you're going to remember those. You can add in your own. You're doing your class. Everyone's going to have their own different flavor and their own different information and style. So you put your own spin on your classes, but have some of the key points listed so that you at least make sure you're covering that. Always go to your class with a newsletter sign-up sheet. I bring mine on a clipboard, and I tell people that I'm going to send them healthy recipes and tips from to their email. But if they don't want any more email, please don't put their name on it. Tell them this because you need their permission to email them. Offer a consultation. I personally don't offer a consultation for a 6-month program, however. By offering a 6-month program, especially when you just met the person, it's almost like asking them to get married. You want to date these people. You want to have small programs, an entry program. Maybe you're telling them, I'm getting ready next week or in 2 weeks to start a 3-day detox. By inviting them to smaller programs, they're going to be a lot more enticed into joining it. And it just might scare them off by throwing big programs at them. So you want to be known as an expert so that you start building this trust and creating a working relationship. So in conclusion, you want to feel confident. As I mentioned, if you go with your handouts, with your recipes, you know exactly where you're going from beginning to end. It takes the stress out of it. You want to look professional. You're looking like a chef. You want to have your hair pulled back. You want to maybe wear a chef's coat or an apron, or at least maybe like a t-shirt that has your logo on it, or even something that says I'm a health coach. Just something so you stand out and look apart from the rest of the attendees. You want to be an expert. Again, reiterating benefits. Having signature programs. So at the beginning of the slides, you saw that I have Eating Super Healthy on a Budget. That's one of my signature classes. Getting greens into your diet, that's a signature class. By having a few signature classes, it's clean and concise. People start to know you for that. They're going to call you and ask to work with you doing that class. If you start going around and doing this class and that class, I had that happen to me. Teach Italian, teach this, teach that. It's confusing. Signature classes, it's driving an audience, and you're getting known for that, and it will build like a pyramid. You'll start getting asked for that service. So knowing how to promote, I already had gone through with you some of the ways to get yourself out there. The key thing is, don't wait until the end of any class to tell them what you do. Tell it throughout and let them know that you have another service so that you're building this relationship. And also, if you sell product, maybe you sell Juice Plus or some other product, you're going to be letting them know that you want people to get their nutrients through food, but sometimes there's a special need, and you have products that can meet that, and you have maybe a trial pack, or you have a few products on special tonight that you have with you, or a flyer maybe that you can give for them to order some of your other products, so you can cross promote yourself. So driving them to your desired outcome by doing that. Promoting, cross-promoting, signing them up for another program or a repeat cooking class. Maybe next month, if you did the greens class with them, and then next month we'll do the budget class, so that they're always signing up for the next thing. That is how you make money. How would you like to hit the ground running? So my goal is to help you succeed doing healthy cooking classes. And the best part is I have done all the work for you. I have been doing this for 8 years and had some struggles of figuring out how to get this all done, and created a system. So my system, my success kit for you, is I have included a coach's outline with talking points. I've created 2 flyers. There's a health and wellness workshop, which you saw on an earlier slide. There's also an Eating Super Healthy on a Budget general class flyer. And then there's a benefits handout. All of these forms, other than the coach's outline, because they're not going to see that, are brandable. You put your logo, you put your website and contact information on it. So when you hand out these recipes and the benefits sheet, it looks as if you have had a professional designer create this for you. Well, a professional designer did create it. And then there's a film that you can just add in your information. You won't mess up the spacing or anything. The graphic area is locked so that you won't have to worry about spacing. And here's the 3 recipes that come with this healthy eating on a budget class. There's a black bean, brown rice, and collard greens, which is a great family recipe. There is the black bean brownies and the acorn squash and carrot soup. Those last two recipes were at my flavors event that I had won the award for. So I think it will be a winner for your people as well. Here is a bonus business package that I put together. I hand out surveys at the end of every class to get valuable feedback on what they liked about you, if it met their expectations, and maybe what other classes they would be interested in. I have a show organization tracker. That tracker is, that tool, I use it for everything. I use it for private cooking classes. I use it for if I'm at a community center or a ladies group. Doesn't matter what I am teaching, where I'm teaching at. I use the same form. On the top, I put in where all the contact information of the person that is running it. And then I put the recipes that I'm using for that show. I keep track of the money on there. I keep track on the bottom. There's a checklist for packing. So you don't leave your house without bringing everything you need for your class. There is a newsletter sign-up sheet that you're going to use on a clipboard or just bring the sheet with you, and that's where you're going to capture everyone's email. Social media image, it looks like that general healthy eating on a budget that you'll be able to then plug into your social media and promote the class. There is a Facebook group for support. I am on it every day. Everyone who's doing these classes and bought these packages is on there, and everyone supports themselves. But best of all, we have a 1-hour live coaching call. That is where I will walk you through each and every piece of the kit. You're going to hear how to do the class, the timing, and then at the end of the call, because we do a screen share, you'll be able to see me, and I'll be able to answer any of your questions. It's a live Q&A once a month. It is on the Monday night, first Monday night of every month, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. If it falls on a holiday, then it's on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. So here's the webinar special. The regular cost of any of these kits is $197, but this is the featured class this month, so it's $97 for everything that you have seen. You're going to get a flyer, 2 flyers, the coach's outline. Those are the recipes. You can see all of the beautiful graphics that you get, and you'll be able to customize them. You just aren't seeing the business packet, which is your back office. This was our last month's featured class, the Getting Greens into Your Diet. That class is available on the website, but being that this is a little redo of our webinar revised version, this is no longer available at $97. You had to be on the webinar to get that special. So it is available, but it is $197. But you can get it for $97 if you buy it as a combo. So that is still available. The budget class is $97, and if you buy the 2 together for the $197, you're basically getting 1 for free because the regular price is $197. So buy 2 for the price of 1, regular cost, or the budget class at $97. Oh, this is no longer available either. Getting the detox for free. This was available only for live attendees on the webinar. So maybe next month when I run my webinar, we'll be doing how to run a lunch and learn and how to teach a cooking class at a Lunch and Learn. So maybe you'll get on the webinar. So thank you for joining me today. I'm Sherry, the Cooking Yogi. You want to dream big, but you want to plan to get there. This will help you get your plan. That is the website link to be able to get the specials. Or you can just go to my website, cookingyogi.com, and then it'll have a tab on there, signature cooking class, monthly signature cooking class. So I thank you so much for being here and taking the time to create healthy cooking classes and join me on my mission to change the way families eat and create better health through food. Again, thank you. Namaste.